Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland Reviewer, and after a couple of days of being delayed, here's the rest of my Wasteland Reviewer Awards for 2016. I believe where we left off was the award where I was about to talk about the Best Director of 2016. Now, some of the directors that I picked out are definitely a little different than the directors that are going to be recognized at the Academy Awards this year. So I'm going to start off with Martin Scorsese, who hasn't gotten any kind of recognition for his job in directing Silence, which was absolutely fantastic. And that film was a very hard film to make work. With the story it was telling, the level of themes it was telling, and Scorsese does an amazing job getting great performances and bringing together the story and pacing it, that the 2 hours and 41 minutes work very well. We also have David Mckenzie for Hell or High Water. This film was so well put together, paced so perfectly. It was slow burning, but never actually boring or slow. And all around, all the performances in this were pitch perfect. Everything felt so gritty and realistic and beautiful. Altogether, Mckenzie did a fantastic job with this film. We also have Damien Chazelle for La La Land, which, to make this work, was amazing. Bringing a modern day musical, but feeling like an old time golden age of Hollywood musical, and making this all work and making it accessible, and all the choreography, bringing all that together with all the dances along with all the music and telling a great story, getting great performances from almost everyone in the film. Damien Chazelle did an amazing job with La La Land. Next is Mel Gibson, which Mel Gibson surprisingly did get a nomination at the Academy Awards, which he absolutely deserved, because the work he did on bringing Hacksaw Ridge to the screen was absolutely amazing. Felt you taking two parts of a story with such different tones and making it feel like a cohesive story, and really bringing moments of true emotion and pacing this film and bringing it all together technically and then story wise and emotion, and it was a fantastic film. And then the last one is J.A. Bayona for A Monster Calls. I was really impressed with how he brought this film together. Visually, it's breathtaking, balancing the different kinds of storytelling and balancing the story and getting some great performances out of a wide range of ages in terms of actors, and voice acting in terms of this film as well. Did a fantastic job. I have to give this one to Martin Scorsese. And Martin Scorsese is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, and this film proves it. He created a film that really shouldn't be accessible at 2 hours and 41 minutes with what it's dealing with and the story it's telling, and he made this work so well, and I was so profoundly impressed by what he did with this film. Our next up is Actor in a Leading Role, which this is going to definitely look a little different than who was nominated in terms of the actual Academy Awards. We have Ryan Gosling, but not for La La Land. I have Ryan Gosling nominated for The Nice Guys, where I thought he was very charming and very good and doing all kinds of different things in terms of dancing and singing in La La Land. What he did in The Nice Guys was portray a very unlikable but charismatic character dealing with a lot of physical comedy and also line delivery and everything, and he balanced all that so well, bringing this character to life, and I thought he did a fantastic job. We have Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw Ridge, which he was also in two big roles this year, but I thought Hacksaw Ridge, his performance and especially his accent, was much more consistent and did a very nice job with it in Hacksaw Ridge, and he brought some true emotions, and I believed him. I believed that he felt that way and truly wanted to save people and never pick up that gun. And next, Denzel Washington for Fences. That he was so intense in this film, and once you get through some of the film, not to give anything away, but like, you see some different layers of this character, and he really brings it. And Denzel is so impressive in everything, and he gives it his all in this, and you're captivated by his performance. Next up, Jake Gyllenhaal for Nocturnal Animals, getting no kind of recognition, but Jake Gyllenhaal brought it in this film, and he brought some serious emotion, and you really felt what the two different characters he was playing, the actual ex-husband in the framing device story of Nocturnal Animals, and then also in the novel, this suffering husband and father, and he was fantastic, and Jake Gyllenhaal doesn't get enough recognition from the Academy Awards. Then my last one, this is going to be coming out of left field for a lot of people, but Mel Gibson for Bloodfather. When I saw this back in the summer, I'm like, that is a powerhouse leading performance. And most people would write off this as a B action movie, revenge story, but he brought so many levels to this character, and it might have had a lot to do with the fact that a lot of this was coming off of actual experiences for him, but still, he did an amazing job carrying this film, and levels of emotion and humor and intensity. Talked about Michael Shannon's intensity in basically anything he does when I was talking about Best Supporting Actor, but Mel Gibson brings that same kind of intensity and presence to the screen. And actually, I'm going to have to give this one to Denzel Washington, because he took the most complex and probably least likable character out of all of these and made him captivating. Everything. Him and Viola Davis carried this movie on their backs, and I was so impressed by the performances that they did. Leading into actress in a leading role. So we have Emma Stone for La La Land. Ryan Gosling was great. This was really her story and like her big standout performance, especially when she gets that song Audition. That was heartbreaking and beautiful and fantastically well done. Emma Stone really brings it in La La Land. Then we have Hailee Steinfeld for The Edge of 17. She was so believable. This character that she brought to the screen was so unbelievably believable and relatable. And you can just tell, it's like, this is a real teenager. Really bringing all these wide range of unbalanced emotions that a teenage girl would have. And she does things that are not very likable, but the thing is, she makes it feel so natural and understandable to people that she does a fantastic job of making us really connect with her character. Viola Davis, who I refuse to put in a supporting role because this was her and Denzel's film. They were the leads in this film, and boy did she rock this movie. Between her and Denzel Washington, they really carried this whole film on their backs and really were captivating. And you can really feel when their presence isn't there, this film is not the same film on the same level. Natalie Portman for Jackie. Wow, was I surprised about what Natalie Portman did with this character. I honestly, leaving that film, I really hated Jackie Kennedy. And Natalie Portman did such a fantastic job of bringing that, because she had to show her public face and her private face. And that public face was so charming and innocent and beautiful. And then you see her, like during the interview that she's having with this reporter, how biting and just like venomous she can be. And it's just, wow, it was such a fantastic performance from Natalie Portman in bringing two very different personalities to the screen. And then the last one is Annette Bening for 20th Century Women. She brought a character that could have been really hateable and unlikable to the screen, but made her so relatable and believable. And you understood why she was doing the things she did, trying to balance these things, trying to raise her son. And Annette Bening, who I personally am not the hugest fan of, did a fantastic job in this film, and I have to really give her credit. I'm going to give this award to Natalie Portman for the fact that she brought two very distinct personalities to the screen that were both fantastic and really painted a whole new vision of an actual historical figure that I was not expecting, and she did an amazing job with this film. Now for the big one, and my last Wasteland Reviewer Award, and this is for Best Motion Picture. Now this is the same 10 as my top 10 video, so if you really want to hear me talking about in depth about all these films, go check out my top 10 video, but I'm just going to list them off here. So we have 20th Century Women, Hacksaw Ridge, The Nice Guys, Captain America Civil War, Zootopia, Kubo and the Two Strings, Patriots Day, La La Land, Hell or High Water, and Silence. And this award is going to go to Silence. This is an unbelievable film that works on so many deep themes and levels that really was so impressing upon me when I saw this, and I was really taken aback how Martin Scorsese was able to make this film work the way it did at 2 hours and 41 minutes while not having a whole lot of action, not having a whole lot of excitement in it, but really getting you really thinking about on a deep level about this film. And that's why I believe it is the #1 film of 2016. Now, thank you all for sitting through probably what's coming up around 30 minutes of all these awards put together. I will be coming out with a video about my picks based off of the Oscar nominations. That will be closer to when the Oscars actually happen on the 26th. But thank you all for tuning into my channel. And this is about a year now since I started doing reviews. I started doing written ones and putting them on a Facebook page, and now trying out my video reviews. And hopefully I'll keep doing this and keep improving upon my technology now that I have an actual camera, not a webcam. But thank you all for tuning in and viewing my Wasteland Reviewer page.